Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Taste of Sport channel. My first time on the channel in a minute, to say the least. I was actually recently looking back on the videos and saw that I think the last video I did on the channel was actually another Giants video. And this one is going to be a lot more positive than the last one because the Giants this season have done much better than I ever thought they were going to do. Brian Daboll, if we're just getting straight into it, Brian Daboll has saved the New York Giants single-handedly. Obviously there's a lot of other things in play as well, but oh my god, he's completely changed the team and the culture around like the whole franchise. Everything it just seems like now we're finally heading in the right direction after almost seeming like we had no direction or anything for a while. Now we're finally getting somewhere. Daniel Jones had he hasn't really had a really good year. But in comparison to his previous years, he has had a really good year. So he got, so I've my notes down here as well. So if I'm staring down here all the time, because that's where my notepad is, and I will forget things if I don't keep looking at it. So I do apologize for that. 15 touchdowns for Daniel Jones, 5 interceptions. In comparison to the last 2 previous seasons, which I have, is last year was 10 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, which is just, it's not great, is it? The year before, even worse, 11 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. So 15 and 5 is a lot better. He's heading in the right direction. And maybe with, I mean, I'm as a fan, personally, I'm willing to give him another season after this season. I know a lot of people are already on the get rid of him train, or like there's a lot of passionate, we'll say, opinions about Daniel Jones. But I mean, it makes sense. I mean, Giants fans are probably sick of the averageness we've had to deal with, or the far, far below average team that we've had to deal with now for quite a while. But we got to the playoffs this season. The regular season record ended up as a 9-7-1, which, I mean, it's not that great, but again, I'm going to keep saying it. In comparison to what we're used to in the past couple of seasons, fantastic record. And sticking on the topic of Daniel Jones, realistically, he's not doing too bad with what he has, because the offense, he doesn't have many weapons apart from Saquon Barkley. What he has at wide receiver is not really ideal for any quarterback. He's kind of dealing with the similar kind of situation as maybe the best thing you can compare it to is Aaron Rodgers and what he's had to deal with the Packers recently. Obviously, not comparing Daniel Jones to Aaron Rodgers because, you know, it's not the same type of player. But I mean, limited weapons in the receiver position, not much to throw to, but he can always hand it off to Saquon, and that is the way the season ended up going a lot of the time. But for our wide receivers, Isaiah Hodgins, he looks good. Darius Slayton, I mean, he's had some time now, and he's getting a bit better, but I expected him to be better than what he is at the moment. And then, of course, we have Sterling Shepard as well, who played, I think, 3 games in the season, and then he got injured and didn't play the rest of the season. It would be nice to see him come back again, but at the same time, don't really know, is he past his prime? Is he going to be able to get back to what we've seen flashes of in the past? But I mean, we need to bring in some receivers, or we need to draft some good receivers. We just need to help Daniel Jones, because like he's improving. You can see by his stats he's improving. 15 touchdowns this year and 5 interceptions is a good rate. It's a good like touchdown to pick ratio type deal. But if we get him some more weapons and then he's still just kind of this average, then there's a problem. But at the moment he's realistically making the best of a bad situation that he has. Then if we just move on to Saquon Barkley, what a season he's just had. He finally looks like the running back that we drafted, that we got for his rookie season, that he hasn't been quite able to get back to because of injuries. Ended the season with 1,312 yards, 10 touchdowns, 300 plus receiving yards. Finally we got to see Saquon Barkley back and full steam ahead again, you know. It was nice to see. There is a lot of talk of trading him. I'm absolutely not for trading him at all, just because we've waited. We've had his rookie season and now we've had this season. I'd like to keep him for another season and see what we can do if we keep everything together again for next season. But realistically, if a trade did come about that made sense, can you really say no? And like, I know it's an awful thing to say, but the value of a running back is far less than the value of other positions that you could potentially get in a trade. Like, we've seen it with countless running backs in the past. They'll have really good season, then they'll be traded, and then they'll go somewhere else and they just won't be the same. And it's like, oh, well, they made the right decision to trade him then. So it depends on what we could get in return, but I'd like to see everything stay together. I'd like to see Saquon back in a Giants jersey next year and see what he can do with it, because things are finally looking exciting in New York again, and it's nice to see. In the NFC East as a whole, things are picking up, which is great. But that's for another video. We'll have something on the NFC East coming soon. And overall team stats, we were looking at being 26th in passing yards per game, which, as I said, we had plenty of problems there. Daniel Jones as well, he was looking good in running a lot of the time. And yes, his passing did look awful sometimes. But again, like I said, not many weapons, and he is improving. So I'm willing to give him more time. Another year, and then we'll see after that, I think. That's my opinion for a lot of what's going on in the Giants at the moment. Obviously, apart from Brian Daboll, because like, keep him there forever, please. A lot of the players that we have at the moment, at least on offense, I think, give him another year. If it can improve in a year, then we're golden. The defense, already looking pretty solid and improving as well. So, I mean, realistically, we're it's a young team and we're building up to something. We just need to see how far it can keep building, and when we reach a ceiling, how good is it? And is it good enough? But yeah, 26th in passing yards per game, 4th in rushing yards per game, which was a lovely combination to see all season of Saquon Barkley. He was, I think, number one in rushing yards for a long time in the season. And Daniel Jones as well, like I said, showing off the wheels very often. Finally looking confident in running again. Was nice to see. So we had a lovely rushing offense, but not much in the passing game. But we'll see. And also an interesting stat that I found while looking for all these team stats, which pretty much sums up the season, because the season, some of the games that we had were so close and they were so painful to watch. As much as it was nice finally winning games and having a winning record and all that stuff, like, the games were so close, they were giving me a fucking heart attack every week, lads. But yeah, so the stat that I found was points for and against. We were tied 15th in the league for both of those stats. We were getting 21.5 points for and 21.8 points against. That's how close our games were every fucking week. They're pretty much the same points for and against. Good God. And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, I remember how traumatic some of those games were to watch. But winning is a fantastic feeling when we come out of those with a win, especially after so many seasons of pain. And then getting on to the defense that I briefly mentioned. The defense looks solid. We've had a good defense for a couple of seasons. Even in some of our dumpster years, we had our one good thing was the defense. Leading tackler Julian Love, we need to re-sign him. I'm pretty sure he's a free agent at the moment, and he's openly saying that he wants to come back to the Giants. So I'm like, okay, get him back on board. He was great. Dexter Lawrence looks fantastic, thank God, because as far as I can remember, we gave up a lot to get him. And then we have new boy Kayvon Thibodeau as well, who also looks very good. Like, the whole team, it just gives off the vibe of just give it a little bit more time, and who knows how far it could go. I see us in a Super Bowl again soon, because at the start of the season we strung together a couple of wins in a row, and I don't know what it was. Something in the back of my mind was always like, it's not a real record. It just doesn't feel like Like, you see I can't remember who had the best records at the start. I feel like it was like the Eagles, the Vikings, and I'm sure there was another team that had a killer record at the start as well. And I'm like, I was watching their games, and they look like, yeah, they're a shoo-in for like a run to the Super Bowl, or definitely making the playoffs. They look the business. The Giants, it's just probably because being a Giants fan, you always have that doubt. And like not much had changed apart from coaching from last year. So I was like, this isn't right. We're scraping through these games. We don't really look that good, but we are winning them. Obviously, that's the most important thing, is that we are winning them. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I'm sure if there's any Giants fans watching this, you'll understand maybe. And if not, then let me know in the comments below. But I'm excited for next year. Finally, I can say that, like, with confidence. Like, I've been able to say in off seasons before that I've been excited for the next season, but it's mainly been just to watch football again, because obviously football's gone for so long in the off season, about to be gone again because the Super Bowl is coming this weekend. But yeah, I can finally say, bring on next season. Once we get, I'm assuming that some pieces that we need are going to be brought in the off season, and then I just can't wait to see where the team can go, because we already got to the playoffs. We won our first playoff game in God knows how long. I can't remember how many years it was. Then, unfortunately, we got absolutely slaughtered by the Eagles. But, I mean, they're in the Super Bowl. They are, I mean, I don't want to say that they're likely to win it, but, they look very good. We'll put it that way. Yes, excited for the Giants. Things are looking good. It just looks like if you can give the team more time, they'll get better and better and better all the time. And we finally have the right head coach, and we can't complain about coaching being a problem anymore. Thank fucking God, because the amount of seasons we've had of painful coaching, pain in the front office and all that shit. Finally, now that feels like that's over, we can move on. We can support our team, have a winning team again. Oh, it's just such a good feeling, man. Such a good... It's been so long. And like I said, any Giants fans out there, let me know how you feel about the team and how everything's going in the comments below. I'm sure you're feeling the same kind of euphoria as I'm feeling for football again. It's just so nice. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will be back on the channel pretty regularly now, hopefully, and it won't just be Giants exclusive stuff. There'll be more random football videos as well. But that's it for me for now. Hopefully this wasn't too all over the place. This is my first time actually recording any kind of video in a while, as far as I can remember. Let me know how it did. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.